Hello Aries, how are you? Welcome to your December 2016 Love and General Tarot card readings. First of all, before I begin, I would like to issue an apology for my delay in getting these up. I spent the last 30 days in Bali. Very humbling and soul-searching experience, and I really hope that a lot of what I learned can come out in these readings this month for you. I'm going to do something a little bit different than I normally do with the generals and the love. You'll see, I guess, when I get there. I'll just go ahead and dive right in, not to waste too much of your time. If you would like to follow me in my travels, I'm actually going to be heading back to Bali and into Southeast Asia in the next couple months. Please feel free to follow me on Instagram, okay? Okay, so here we go, Aries, your love reading for December 2016. All the love messages for Aries. One more, Aries. Okay, here we go. Ace of Swords, Five of Wands, Queen of Swords reverse, Queen of Pentacles reverse, the Empress reverse, Five of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, and the Magician. Okay. First of all, Ace of Swords in the very center of the spread. I feel as though something is going to come to light, right? Ace of Swords is often about information coming in or clarity or some form of understanding. Can also indicate something, that kind of comes in and sort of, pierces your ego a little bit. Sometimes, we find ourselves in a place of humility, and sometimes that can affect us in a frustrating way. And I'm wondering if that's not going to come out in your relationships or in your dating scene. Something either you learn about yourself. I feel as though maybe you're learning something about yourself, okay? Because the Queen of Swords, as soon as she came out, I felt that was Aries, okay? And your partner here being the Queen of Pentacles in the reversal. Your overall essence as well as the Empress. So, there's a lot of this feminine polarity. So a lot of introspection, a lot of soul searching, a lot of looking within yourself. And while your partner is here, your partner is present, I do feel as though they are somewhat separated from what you're dealing with and what it is that you are going to experience. Leaving maybe a little bit of a feeling of separation or a feeling of distance, okay, or like emotional space almost, and sometimes when we experience an Ace of Swords moment, okay, it doesn't have to be like a bolt of lightning moment that happens all of a sudden. Sometimes this can be a process. Usually it's more something that, does happen more quickly, but it really just depends on what it is, right? Causing you to be in this reversal position. And I do see this kind of, like I said, it's sort of like a introspection. It's like a mirror image of yourself. And that the information or that this situation even that occurs causes you to really second guess your intuition, to second guess the way you really feel. You're not allowing yourself to feel wholly, and you are suppressing things. You are maybe more focused on, and this is coming from the Empress reverse, maybe more focused on others, focus on their reactions to you, their response to you, as opposed to you really owning it. And if you feel something, and if you feel intuitively about something, it is important for you to own it, all right? And I feel like there's just a little bit of Five of Wands, okay, there's a little bit of controversy that comes because of this. Now, this could be sometimes you taking your own personal frustrations and your own personal judgments about yourself out on your partner. Okay, you're unhappy with something about yourself. Something comes in and affects you, and you project it onto someone else. And I feel like that puts you both in this weakened position, this Queen of Pentacles, also reverse, weakened position. And I think that your partner is really trying to understand where you're coming from. But I see that you're at odds. Okay, and if you're dating and this doesn't speak to you in terms of a significant other, this could just be anyone that you're dating, and you might just not really be clicking with anybody because there's these, projected concepts, these projected images that you aren't something and therefore you don't like it about someone else, kind of thing. And we always tend to nitpick in others the things that we nitpick even more within ourselves. And I feel that this Five of Wands is really that nitpicking. It's really that, down and dirty, nitty gritty, below the belt, hitting them where it hurts. And that's solely because of something that you don't like within yourself. Now, if you are having difficulty admitting to yourself, which I see that you are, I want you to kind of just take a step back if you can, okay? Take a step back. This is the self-empowering power of the magician, right? The magician can be so many things and so many influences, but really, given the reversals of all of these queens and the queens and the empress, I feel like this is such an opposite, right? It's such a masculine energy where the feminine polarities are coming out here. This is, reaching into yourself and finding that self-empowerment and bringing that outward. All right, and I know this isn't so relationship specific. I just read the cards as they come out, but I sense like I say, the space that's being created between the two of you. Here we have the Five of Pentacles, and it's the card of being left out in the cold. Like I feel like your partner being tied with the Pentacles here is feeling left out of the party. Like they don't understand where you're coming from. They don't understand what it is you're doing or what it is that you need from them. And they're just kind of maybe taking a back seat, right? Because this is not someone that necessarily, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize those were cut off. Hopefully you can see all those. Sorry, I just barely looked at the camera. Hopefully, okay. This is someone that will take the back seat and who will just operate a little bit in fear, right? This is a more passive aggressive energy. I mean, really from both of you, you have that passive aggressiveness about you. So you might be kind of, this is a very sharp-tongued energy, all right? The Queen of Swords. She can be a little bit rough on others and say things that maybe they don't mean, say things that maybe are hurtful on purpose, okay? But this is not someone that would speak in that manner. This was someone that would fester, right? They would internalize and fester, and they will remove themselves physically from the situation. They will remove themselves even, more to the detriment of the relationship. They'll remove themselves emotionally as well. They pull themselves out. They retreat. And that can be really, really tough on relationships. I see a connection that you share, Two of Pentacles, okay? Two of Pentacles to me in a love reading doesn't necessarily operate so much with the essence of choice. Sometimes it can, but in this instance, I'm seeing it more about the connection that you share. I see the connection, right? The separate entities, the two totally independent and separate people being tied together with an energetic connection. And sometimes that separation is more obvious, right? The fact that you are operating as two individuals, sometimes that comes out more. And sometimes when you're totally in sync and you're totally on the same page, it comes out less. Right now, I see the walls, right? I see the protection. I see the guardedness. You are being guarded for some reason. You are not opening up. I don't know why specifically. Sometimes we just go through phases where we feel like people just don't understand us, where we feel like we are more alone. We feel, even though you can be in a relationship and you can share your whole world with someone, you still experience these moments of loneliness or these moments of independence, okay? Either way. It's totally different, but could go either way. And you kind of putting on a little bit of a front, which makes it even that much more difficult for your partner to really get through, or to really experience you, or to understand you and understand where it is you're coming from. This Magician at the very end of the spread, I think, is so important, okay? Because this is you going through this, taking the high road. I think it's important that you recognize that you are going through something, but it doesn't have anything to do with your partner. Why are you taking it out on your partner? Why are you distancing yourself? Why are you at odds? Why are you back to back? Why aren't you facing one another and sharing energy? Why is it like this? And I feel that it's because of you, not trying to blame you, but it's because this Ace of Swords moment, right? And it's that self-reflection that you're going through, which has nothing to do with them, but it is causing you to maybe find things or see things about yourself that you don't like, maybe see things about your life that you don't like. Maybe they're pointing out things and they're right and you don't like it. They're right, it, but you don't want to admit it. And it can go the scenario can go so many different ways. But take the high road. That's what I'm, and I'm not saying suppress your feelings. If anything, I think you need to own your feelings, own up to it, own up to your shortcomings, own up to the things and the areas in which you can work, that you need work on. We all need work in special areas. And this is someone that is so willing and so there for you, so willing to help, but they're not going to be willing to help if you turn your back to them. They're not going to fight to be in your life. They're not going to fight to help you. It's like if you want help, they'll be there 100% committed, obligated, no matter what, no questions asked. But if you don't want it, they won't do it. If you don't want it, they'll pull away. This is an energy that wants to give, that wants to nurture, wants to cherish, wants to love. All right, this is an earth energy, Mother Nature. That's what she does. And yet, at times, we turn our back on those that are helping us to benefit us. And sometimes we take it the wrong way, or we take it as an insult or an infraction of trust, or or something that it isn't. And I hope that you can reach this point of the Magician and see it for what it is, and allow someone to help you. Okay, so this one just popped out, 7 of Swords. I'm going to do something a little bit different, all right? Like I said, I'm only going to pull out 1 card this time. I know I was pulling out 3 before, but I'm tying in now the general with the love, not because I want them to all integrate, but I think the energies are just so intertwined that I can't help but keep them together, So you'll see in just a moment. So the 7 of Swords is that element, or that essence of like letting your fears and your doubts get the best of you. And so that internal battle, 7's always that internal battle of your heart versus your head, passion versus logic. Like I said, I think they might be right about something. They might bring out some truth that you don't like, and it causes a little bit, it's not detrimental. No one's going to be breaking up over this. No one's going to be, I don't think it's the end of relationships here. It's not so heavy. It's not something that you can't work through, especially with the stress of the holidays. It might be just a little bit amplified, but don't worry, okay? I think that there is a lot of good. This type of situation will allow couples and allow you in your dating scene, if you're single, to discover a lot about how the other person operates, how the other person needs to be helped, how they accept help, okay? This is a very I think, a very important learning experience for people who are trying to make relationships work. Okay, so I think it's really, really great. But just remember to not let your fear and your doubt, your fears and your doubts about your partner and about yourself get the best of you. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a totally different deck. All right, this has already been prepared for the Aries general reading with the reversals. So I'm going to just lay, it's kind of like, I know people do like the triple cross with the Celtic cross spread. This is kind of the same thing, but I just want to, I will try to keep it more general, all right, as much as I possibly can, but I think the energies just tie in every single month so much that it just doesn't make sense for me to keep it as a separate spread anymore. Okay, so here we go for the general messages for Aries for December 2016. Careers or finances or family or any other areas or any other messages that you're meant to receive. So this one came out. So 7 of Pentacles and the 6 of Swords. 10 of Pentacles. King of Swords. King of Wands, I'm sorry. 9 of Cups reverse. 3 of Cups. 8 of Wands reverse. Page of Pentacles. And the 6 of Pentacles. The point of indecision, or the point of the pivotal point. Okay, another 7. We have here another 7. A pivotal moment, okay, where you feel dissatisfied in something. All right, it could be any area of your life. Dissatisfied with your financial situation, dissatisfied with your career. We are facing a new year. We are facing a very important, time. There's been a lot of stress, especially within the United States with the election, and there's been a lot of soul searching, I think, that's been going on about, the future, okay? And a lot of us are sitting at moments of disappointment and dissatisfaction, and I think the choice to move away, okay, 6 of Swords, to move away from things that are not important, okay, to move away from things that are petty and silly and ridiculous and unimportant. And I think that there's, especially with the holidays, there's a lot of that pettiness, with toys and gifts at this time, and there's a realization, I think, that these are the things that don't really make you happy, and you are soul searching for whatever this means to you. Family and togetherness and true love and, finding purpose that is greater than the material. And I know that this is Pentacles and it represents the material. However, I do feel that this transcends the material aspects of life, and it reaches out to the emotional fulfillment in other areas, okay? And here you are, King of Wands now, all right? This is such an opposite energy. So it tells me that your love life, I think, might be simply suffering a little bit or taking the hit from this point of indecision, right? You have the point of indecision, you have the Ace of Swords moment, something that comes to light. And I think that what comes to light actually is something that you are dissatisfied with. And I don't think it's your relationship specifically. I think, unfortunately, it's just being taken out on that person that's closest to you. But you are approaching life with a whole new perspective, okay? King of Wands, true Aries, total go-getter, look at how eager he is to stand up and move, right? How eager he is to stand up and go fight for what it is he wants. It's a very progressive energy. And I think, I don't want to see you trampling your partner, right? For your own sake, trampling your love, trampling those people that, trampling, is that the word? I think it is. I feel like I'm saying a word that doesn't exist, trampling. Anyway, doesn't matter. You might be like kind of steamrolling or stampeding a little bit in other areas of your life, specifically career, because there are those material elements here. And I see opportunity here with the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so there may be some opportunity coming your way, or some new passage that you see that could bring more. I see you taking a very, very serious approach, all right? You're done maybe having fun. Like I said, you're done with the ridiculous, done with the pettiness, done with the silliness. Like, it's time to get really, really serious in your life. Time to focus on your finances, to get things in order. Time to get things organized, okay? If you are in a relationship, please do not forget to include that person, okay? Don't leave them out in the cold, remember? Don't leave them out in the cold. You can take things seriously. You can be the leader of the relationship. You can take them by the hand and you can guide them and show them, but please don't, like I said, don't project anything negative onto them, okay? If you have career changes that you want to make, I do sense a sense of humility. Empress reverse, Nine of Cups reverse. There is that, stepping back, analyzing and saying, well, maybe I did, the ego, like I said, there could be something piercing the ego, and you coming to a realization that the things aren't nearly close to what you thought they should be or that they could be, and that mostly probably because it's your fault. Mostly probably because you didn't do something, or you prevented something from happening, or and I am putting the blame on you a little bit because it's just the energy that's here, right? It's more focused on you than it is anyone else, which means that your month, okay, or this next coming short-term period is going to be very revolved around your choices, not so much the choices of your partner or your significant, the significant relationships in your life, work, or otherwise. Okay, very, very serious approach here. I think new things will be coming in. Page of Pentacles represents something new coming in. However, I don't necessarily see significant or substantial change occurring quickly. I think the universe will be very, very generous with you once you take hold of this magician power, of this self expansion, right? The universe can be incredibly generous, and I see that generosity here. I see the goodness of your efforts being rewarded, and materialistically, okay, financially, good things, okay, might not happen as quickly as you like, but have faith that these things will come around, okay? So let me pull out the last card. Ace of Wands. Love it. Such a fantastic way to end the reading, because one, it is a fire energy, just like you. You are going to experience something that is true to your nature. Okay, I love that you're coming out as the fire energies here, the wands, because it really embodies who you are as a true Aries, and someone who gets excited about opportunity, and who is smart about opportunity, and who understands what can come of opportunity. And you're not afraid to chase. You're not afraid to work. You're not afraid to go after stuff. And here's an opportunity for you to do that, all right? Just remember, it's not always all about you, all right? That's the only thing the only piece of advice, I guess, that I can give you from this spread. It's not all about you. If you have a relationship, a family, co-workers, colleagues, bosses, friends, whatever, bring them on this journey with you. There are people here receiving with you. You know, you have an opportunity to lead someone into universal generosity. So take it. Don't alienate them, all right? This is not just a journey that you're taking yourself. You know, you're not alone in this boat. So remember that. And the pettiness and the silliness of your life, you know, maybe now is a really good time to really analyze and think about what's important to you, what really matters in your life. Pull yourself back. Bring yourself down to earth, okay? We have the earth, so many pentacles here, so many earth qualities. Bring yourself down to earth. Harness that inner fire, that inner passion that you have for your career, for your hobbies, for the things that you care about, okay? And just go. Grab everyone by the hand and be the leader of all the kings and queens in the whole tarot deck. To me, this King of Wands is the best leader. He's the one that people follow. He's the one that attracts crowds. He's the one that has the charisma and the magnetism to really like rally the troops, you know what I mean? So be that person, be that magnetic self. Everyone, I love Aries. My best friend is Aries. I have like 3 other Aries friends that I just love being around them. That's you. People love being around you. People love your energy. They love your style. Use that to your advantage to bring people along this ride with you. Okay? So that is it. Hopefully you like the new way that I'm doing it. I will leave you with that. Aries, good luck. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next month. Bye.